been looking along these hedgerows here at Eakring Meadows for the best part of a couple of hours, to be honest. I've gone right round and I've been searching for a particular species. It's a Coleophora, one of the case bearers, but this is a case bearer with a difference because it's one of a select few which are called pistol case bearers. Now, there are several pistol case bearers that we have here in Nottinghamshire. They're always fun to look for because the cases are named after the old handles of the old flintlock pistols, the likes of which Johnny Depp used to use in Pirates of the Caribbean and such like. And the great things, they're beautifully crafted, they really are, and they're black. But the one I'm after today is Coleophora anati penella. Long name, small case, because at the moment the cases are very small. However, they can be found with a bit of patience, some blackthorn, and a bit of knowledge. If you know what you're looking for, the feeding signs are a great way to find the case. And I've learnt something today just by looking for that. Yes, it's a leaf, but it's what's on that leaf. You may be able to make out from there lots of little tiny dots, and there's also dots on an adjacent leaf. Yesterday I came to Eakring and I found such dots on 3 leaves, and underneath one of those leaves was indeed the case of Coleophora anati penella. While I've been walking around here at Eakring Meadows along this hedge, I've found 3 examples of the feeding signs of the larva of the Coleophora anati penella. But I couldn't find the case. I've not found the case of any of them until just now. And it takes some finding, but you've got an idea of where it is by the feeding signs. I'll say I've been looking today, found, see, this might be the 4th actually example of a leaf such as this. The other one is there, look, that's the one you take first, and it's moved onto this larger one in the middle of the screen. When I found the one yesterday, it was just a simple matter of turning the leaf over, and the larva and case were still feeding underside. But we're just about in the middle of October now, and if you want to look for one of these, then you need to look ideally for the feeding signs on the leaves, unmistakable. This is the only one that does this on blackthorn. But where is the case? That's what I was wondering. You're looking at it now. It's a tiny little thing just there. The case is tucked right in that joint with the main stem that goes up here, and where that other little branch starts to come out at sort of 10 o'clock angle from the main stem, tucked in there, that little round snail-like thing is the case of Coleophora anati penella. Now, it's nowhere near full grown, but this is where it's going to winter by the looks of this. The leaves are starting to yellow now on blackthorn and are starting to drop off, so I was lucky to find one actually on the leaf yesterday. But if you're going to look for them in the next week or so, while there's still time and while there's still green leaves showing the feeding signs on blackthorn, you need to look very close by on the stem tucked in a joint. So there you can see the case now. The mouth of the case is facing towards us, right into the joint of the 2 stems. Doesn't so much resemble a flintlock pistol case at this stage, but as it matures, it does. And so there are a number of species of cauliflower that produce these flintlock type cases. They're always good to look for. Yeah, you can see it tucked in. At the moment it looks more snail-like than flintlock pistol handle. But if you are going to look for these, and it's a great thing to go out and look for now, if you've got nothing to do on a dull day, and we're going to have a few of these dull days, in order to find them, you're looking for that damage there. And it will be, say, on 2 or 3 leaves. It's 2 leaves in this case. There's the other one. And somewhere nearby, on a stem, tucked in the joint, will be the case of Cauliflora annatipinella. And again, it's not the impossible task finding these that you might think. It's a great thing to look for, and it's a way of being able to identify a micro moth without resorting to a microscope and a scalpel, which ideally you do if you want to determine the adults. I will be taking this little case back home with me. It can be friends with the other one that I collected yesterday, which I photographed this morning. They can pass the winter safely and hopefully come out the other side in a few months' time. It's just amazing, entomology and Lepidoptera especially, but all aspects of entomology and insects. It's just a fascinating world, it really is. You never stop learning, or you shouldn't want to stop learning. I think that's the key thing. And I've learnt something today. I thought I'd be able to come along here and look for the unmistakable feeding signs of Cauliflora annatipinella, lift the leaf over, and there would be the little case. No. Little cases have had other ideas. And there they are, in preparation for the coming winter, tucking themselves into a joint on a stem. I still find it amazing how such tiny invertebrates can survive even the harshest of winters. I know we don't get them now, maybe we will do. We're probably due for a really cold winter, but we had a colder winter than normal last year. But how these things get through but before they have to get through, and while there's still green leaves on Prunus spinosa, blackthorn, while you're gathering your sloes for your sloe gin, you can look for these feeding signs and then see if you can find where the little case and the little larva that made those signs is tucked up for winter.